Patrick, Goose, Ford Fourth, what's going on? As well. Gary's supposed to be coming on again. Yep. Hey Steve, what's going on? Hope that con goes well. I couldn't make it this year. Out with the other con commitments. So Tiffany and Ed will be there, but I will not. Yeah. Where am I heading here?
Your repurposed freighter
yeah, I just haven't had a
drifts through
chance.
space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign.
That's good. Oh. That's in
Did
2
we?
weeks.
That's cool. I can
What
pivot.
day you heading out?
The smell of smoke
right,
curdles
so
in your nostrils.
Hold
up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse
or the cabin
campaign.
that Sunday. I got it. Okay.
All right, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's
out.
elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, 3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that?
Awesome, we'll have fun.
I have the right tools for the job.
Okay, well, you'll miss Gavin that night. That's okay. All good. Whew. Thanks, Mandy. I thought, maybe not. Talking to myself, everyone. Sorry. That's not smart.
A story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky
I did not.
will never escape.
All right, I got to stop here. I thought I reset the giveaway, and I didn't for Sunday. Dumb. Yeah, well, it's like 101 here and 100 degree, and I actually walked in it today after I got done work because I'm keeping things rolling. I like being lazy when it's hot, but I just I gotta keep going. I'm doing almost a pound off a day, so yeah. Right. Okay. Let me run that a second time because I am behind on shout outs. That sucks, man. At least you gave it a shot. Hey, Boromir, what's going on? I hit the wrong button. I did.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter. POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're
Yeah, I'll say. What's up? Big chain. Here comes the giveaway. Set the giveaway up while we're waiting here. I'm gonna be on in a second here. Too much going on. There we go. This is D&D replays tonight. Kick this week off after our 24-hour stream, which wasn't 24. Okay. should have heard Curtis. I know Curtis was like, I felt way worse this year than I did last year. So he said, I feel like it was and I had them all frazzled the entire adventure because they didn't know what was coming. So here comes Greyhawk Mike. Comes. Yeah, I'll put you, Gary, at the bottom since you are a cultist today. Right, live. All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you all kicking off this week? So get the talk going now. 2 weeks ago, we did the metropolises and Greyhawk. We're going to hit it down, drop it down a notch of cities. I got with me legendary map maker Anna B. Meyer, Greyhawk Mike Bridges, one of the greatest bloggers of all time with Greyhawk, and a legend in his own right, puppet smedger Gary Holian. For those of you like Boromir who don't know who that is, this is the 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, and look at the first name on there is Gary Holian right there. Next day, the legendary Eric Mona, who runs Paizo now, Sean K. Reynolds, who works for Monty Cook, and Frederick Whining. We don't know what happened to Fred. So there you go. And that's where
X-File.
Yeah.
We have to start an investigation. Yeah,
absolutely. So yes, I'm thinking about, do we kick it up a notch for the giveaway today? Want to kick it up? I got some new reprints in. So because we mentioned Eric Mona's name, this is a reprint. Here we go. Exhibition of Ruins of Greyhawk.
That's hard to get these days.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. This is a reprint of it. Came from hardcover reprint. So we will hook that one up.
I'm so glad they keep doing reprints of stuff so we can get access to it.
If you already have it, we'll get you something else. I got a pile right here. Fun. All right. So real quick, tomorrow night, we're going to do a 2-part stream game, Thursday night, Saturday morning. We'll have a Gavin Sunday night. So only played Greyhawk once in your younger years? Well, this is the show for you. And there's a lot. There's 330 more of them on my YouTube. Because the first 20 were on another channel. But yes, 330 more. It was at 351, and there's 416 or whatever Gavins on there, or however many we've done of those. 418. So, but we're gonna go. We delve in deep here on topics. So, thoughts tonight, Gary, on this as opposed to doing the we did the roughly 23 to 25 metropolises 2 weeks ago. What are your thoughts? Oh, did I lose Gary?
Maybe. Yeah.
I may have lost.
Sorry, I was muted for a second and then kept talking to myself.
No problem. No problem.
You guys were still very polite to me, though.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, we're now hitting the medium cities, and I think they're the ones that are very manageable for DMs. Like Anna was saying earlier, when you have 10 to 25,000, it's you'll still have multiples of things, multiple taverns and inns and places to buy weapons and sorts of things like that. So you have some leeway to create, but also these cities, they have some really good adventure hooks surrounding them. So
yeah,
they're not all the same.
And that's the cool thing is the variety throughout. So does Isvin count? Is it that's in Sturridge, right? Does that qualify as a city? I would say probably, right, Gary? So we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean it's a city with some ruins, but
yeah. Well, it depends on it depends if you're playing that Living Greyhawk era where they kill everything, right? Oh no, I guess that's not. That's GDQ. That's right before 3rd edition, isn't it? Holy shit. Oh my God, I should have known.
Well,
that.
It's been covered a couple times. There's a series called Shadows Over Stiven in Dungeon. That was, I think, Greg Vaughn's last take at it. But it was also in, GDQ 1 through 7 as the main target of Lulth's bubble, which was always kind of an interesting concept.
Yep. There it is. There's this one. This is Sturridge here. So they don't kill everything.
Eric, No, I think Eric and Greg were playing with the concept of what would it be like to have a city that, for a brief amount of time was kind of touched by this demonic force that then was defeated and retreated, but kind of left a legacy there. So, you could put some fiendish things there.
Yeah, and this is one that like this began they did a lot of compilations. They did the Scourge of the Slave Lords A1 through 4. Barely changed it, but then kind of added A0 and did all the synopsis of the 4 authors. Everyone loved so much G1 through 3, the Giants, and then D1 through 3, which is legendary, right? Vault of the Drow's D3, and then Q1 is, you go up against Loth. Someone, I don't know, I guess, was it Monty Cook at this time? Whoever said, hey, let's just put them all in one big book and let them have at it and add all this other stuff and let them take over a whole kingdom. And you got to beat them back. But that book is got a lot in it.
Yeah, they definitely put a little bit more. Yeah. They put a little more meat in it to sort of connect them together.
Absolutely.
And they even, try to connect it all the way back to A1 through 4, and then Temple of Elemental Evil too. So maybe that was the first adventure path. It's like you can get from pretty low levels to pretty high levels by the end of that.
It is. That is the case. I mean, as far as in Greyhawk goes, there was a lot of adventure paths, right? Like the G1 through 3 is probably the first one, because I think that's before the A series. That's the first, Against the Giants.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of my favorites of all time. Those adventures are only 12 pages long. They're not meaty.
If you were to make me guess, I would have thought 32.
Yeah. 12 pages. Which is nuts when you think about it. I think G3 may be a little bit longer, right, Mike? But G1 is 12.
Yeah. No, all I can think about is how Paizo Adventure Paths had 12-page stat blocks.
Well, yes, during that 3rd edition era, the era of the stat block, absolutely. All right,
we got all these.
But I love that. Yeah, that's something you mentioned. I love the campaign guide that Pathfinder 1 had, that they had stat blocks for settlements. They were really smart for world building. Not so much something you referenced during play, but when you prep, if you're a sandbox DM like me, then that type of stuff is awesome, because that you can roll up and you get the character of settlements, so to speak, and the cities. That's really important.
Anna, wasn't there something like, we didn't mention it last show on Metropolises, but wasn't there something like that in 3rd edition too? Sort of a.
Oh yes, exactly. They started, and that's Pathfinder 1 built on 3rd edition, so they just refined it. And there were two steps in the DMG, whatever it's called, Game Master's Guide or whatever it's called in Pathfinder 1, had a lot of the base rules, and then they had the campaign guide that was Ultimate Campaign, that was super cool. That really, highly recommended. If you're sandboxy, that one is highly recommended, because they really put it into constructing settlements, and you can go into really minute detail. That's beyond even what I do when it comes to the rules side of things, but it's really cool to get the overview. You can get like how laws function, politics function, what happens when you start casting spells, killing citizens, and go haywire. When you go murder a hobo in your town, what happens then, and other stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so here, there's one called Against the Giants, which has really got a lot of detail on it for that. So let me see if I can bring that up real quick.
What was that?
No, not Against Giants. The Liberation of Geoff. Against the Giants is G1 to 3, but the Silver Anniversary 25th edition is really redone. Right? Here it is. This one.
Fleshed it out a lot.
Yeah, because Cloud Giants are involved in this, right, Mike? There's a whole Cloud Giant city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in this one. Plus, they have all the details on all the towns that are overrun, and like all sorts of crazy stuff. So there's a lot to do in this one. Here, see Cloud Islands of the Sakut, G6, right? And then
there's a lot of former cities in that module.
Yeah, they destroyed a lot of stuff. It was kind of like they were living in Greyhawk era. Just kidding. But this is 25th anniversary edition, and it's written in first edition rules. So, yep. Yes, it is. It's a redo. It's a redo of a redo. So this is like G1 through 3. It's actually G1 through 6 in that area, and then you had instead of G to Q, right? Which is another. Which was, what was that one called again? Oh my God, my brain shut off. Against the Spider Queen.
Queen of the Spiders.
Queen of the Spiders. That's it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, the whole thing. Queen of the Spiders. Yep. And that got ranked as the top of all time, right? So, yeah. Whether you believe that or not, that's subject to conjecture. But I think it's a whole bunch of different adventures just smashed into one. But but there you go. So we started here at Isthman. So you got a lot of possibilities, and like I said, you got Vaughn's adventures here too that are in dungeon. You got a lot to do in this area. Lots and lots
I think
of stuff.
It's a 2-part adventure, the Istvan story. I don't know the issue numbers, unfortunately.
It is, and it's post. I think it's post GDQ. Yeah, it's post GDQ. Yeah, that cover was good, and on the GDQ cover, absolutely. All right, there's a city for you. Where do we go? Pick and choose.
Well, I have some more kind of general stuff that I want to kind of So first of all, I think cities are, I think, almost universally big enough that they are multi-dimensional. Meaning, you talk about villages and towns; they can be like a mining town. Everything's centered around one little business or one little theme or whatever it is. But cities are big enough that they have multiple stuff, meaning they have multiple legs of their economy, and they're also big enough to matter politically. That they are center of a realm. They have enough clout that they are sorts of things. There's nobility around, there are fancy folks, rich folks, poor folks, and so on. So a city is multi-dimensional, not as gigantic as a metropolis that might be a game setting in itself, but it's like a destination for various stuff. It attracts all sorts of things. There's cultural life, low life, and all that stuff in a city. And then also so they're mainstay for that, so to speak, and then they're manageable for a gaming purpose, so to speak. You can kind of fit, at least you can fit a reasonable map on a page, and you can kind of go in, but they're big enough to have long, but also that they are multifaceted, I think, is one of the things that almost all of them, and they are political centers. Sometimes capitals of whole countries, but at least regional powerhouses, so to speak. That's where you go for tournaments, where you go to pick up spells, where they educate people, where they execute people, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
What population are we looking at?
I have in my app from 5,000 to 25,000, but I'm starting to question whether I should change these numbers a bit. But that's from 3rd edition PF1 era.
Gary, can you put that file in your Discord to me that you just linked?
Sure.
Thanks.
I think to make it manageable, we should probably go from like 12,000 to 25,000 today, which would be
that's fair.
Still like as big a tier as
the larger cities. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. That works. Thank you.
I'd like to point out, like we did on the Metropolises thing. Yeah, Anna's right. In the LGG, the city is 5,000 to 25,000. Now, I was looking at the old World of Ground box set on their classifications, and for them, city was anything from 10,000 to 60,000. Of course, with that in mind, it's to the side of it is a random roll, 5d6 times 2,000 people. So I was crunching the numbers, and so if you're randomly rolling the population of, say, Gradsul, Gary, the average roll would end up being 35,000 population cities,
which is big for Greyhawk.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting.
But it means
Gary kind of left it to a random roll.
The minimum is 10,000 in that roll.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bigger than 5. So
yeah. So much bigger than what you would anticipate from reading the book. But anyhow, I like what Gary's talking about, to keep it manageable, keep it between 12 and 25.
Yeah, so that's that link I posted. It has, more than 30 or 40 cities there. So
that's some good locations. So I got it now. We are good. Cities. All right. Yep. Just brought it up. Okay. And there's some legend, some you may know on here, some I never even heard of that are on the map, and I have no idea. But
I mean, East Pass in the Principality of Ulick, 15,000. That's still a pretty big city, and that's the third biggest city. Thunderstrike, sorry, is the third biggest city. So Principality has 5 really big cities. That's very unusual.
What?
It's
yeah,
magnet. It's a magnet for people.
Dwarves like to live together. They don't like to live separately.
Right, and so Thunderstrike didn't exist.
Is that the closest
on the Darlene?
Is that the closest to Altamira?
It's no, city. I don't. They're smaller. Altamira, by the way, isn't big enough. Coward, I don't know. I don't think Coward's big enough either. Probably Thunderstrike. Yeah.
At least
Corwood or Cowerwood.
Coward, how many?
I don't know how many, but I have it marked as a city.
Okay.
And that's definitely the closest of the cities.
Yeah, it is. It's real close. But once again, all that is conjecture where it is. Still think, Mike found it's in Saline, not the county, Ulick. Interesting.
Yeah, but that was more like where the border goes, not where the city is.
Exactly.
Those are two different things. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thunderstrike is there. It's so there, a lot of these were added as stuff came around. So yeah, Coward's 7.8 thousand. That's it.
Yeah, there are very few cities in the early like Greyhawk 83 box set and stuff. Are very few cities compared to what the size of the geographical size, so to speak, of.
Mike, will you tell Sam it's in Celine? You found it, the documentation.
I don't even know how to go about explaining it. I had this great explanation, and it's lost. It's buried somewhere, probably on the Cannon Fire forum.
I agree with the people who say it's in Saline and not in County Ulick. I don't think County Ulick has anything on that side of the mountains.
Mine is not qualify for this, so we're not talking about it today because I have less than 10,000.
Yeah, I agree too. I also think Cowerwood should be in Saline and not in nothing else. So yeah.
Oh, Sam got bitch slapped. Boom! A unanimous panel discussion. I know, but by the maps it's in Ulick. But remember, Darlene put stuff all over that shouldn't, and the wrong places early on. Yeah, like Laura Tarma. All right, where are we going? Any other geographical or political or economical?
Apparently, we're in the Principality of Ulick.
Do you want to jump around by region, or do you want to go down the list by size? Or
I also think that we should make a couple of pit stop where the Gord books make a pit stop, because that is like a road. If you want to have like a road trip around the Flanies, the first 2 and in some ways 3 Gord books. The first 2 published by TSR, and the third one, The Sea of Death by Gygax under New Infinities later. But they are all 3 good road movies, because that's when Gord predominantly is still in Greyhawk and not somewhere else, so to speak. Like later books, but so they are really cool. Of course, he starts in Greyhawk and then he goes around, but he basically goes across the Nerdöv and then goes east along and Stowink and so he goes to cool places. Like, I don't think he's in Critwall, which is damn sad. He doesn't end up there. He misses that one. But Radagast City is one of the early cities. And then Stowink and stuff that is really.
Critwall wasn't a metropolis, right? Critwall's a city. Correct?
No, Critwall is a city, and I think it was one of these that I my take of Critwall is that the Great Kingdom had great plans for Critwall. The problem was that the Great Kingdom fell apart like a century after Critwall was founded as a city. So therefore, my take on the city is that they're huge ambitions, big quarters and stuff. So they wanted to see something like the city of Greyhawk or Divers in the north, meaning their big bastion to expand in the north and all that, because it was Critwall was founded when the Greyhawk or when the Grey Kingdom was in its the early stage when it is in imperial conquest phase, so to speak, and that quickly petered out. So a lot of these folks that were supposed to settle it never showed up. So it's a city that is designed for a much bigger population that was actually ended up in it. But that's my take on it.
Is Critwall the only city in the Shieldlands?
Yes. It's the only. Well, no, it's not. It's the one. The Edmund Fort is another one. Yeah, as well. Yeah. That I think is much older but smaller.
Edmund Fort makes total sense as a naval base, right?
Critwall is also seems to be famous for its bridge. I'm guessing over the Veng.
Yep.
Probably allows travel east-west.
Yeah, so even foot travel, so to speak. And I think this was seen as one of the probably one of these because you can actually cover it with boats almost equally efficient. But I think it was one of these pet projects of the emperor to say that we have a road that you can actually go around the Nur Div on our roads and so on and so forth. So you can kind of walk on foot from Shendel to Radagast City and just or ride your horse all through the Empire.
It must be an amazing bridge because there's a battle named after it during the Greyhawk Wars, and I think Mordenkainen himself is facing off against humanoids and evil.
I have just drawn it, so I've just modeled it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep. Yep.
Do you have many arches?
Yes, I also have. It's also a suspension bridge part of it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yep, part of it. It's there's two islands in the middle. The river is almost a mile wide, so it has basically like 5 or 6 sections to the bridge. Yeah. And some of them are arch built like stone bridge with arches, and then there's a couple of suspension, like 3 or 4 suspension parts.
Wow.
And there's also 2 openings, one on the Furundi side and one on the Shieldland side that you can open for traffic, so to speak. So it's a taxation point as well. So you can regulate the flow on either side. So they couldn't agree on one side getting all the glory and taking all the taxes, so they actually made 2.
So Anna, is it the Shieldlands on both sides of the bridge, or is it Furiandi on the west side?
I have it that there's 2 islands. One belongs to the Shieldlands and one belongs to Furundi. And also I have it that so I have
double toll.
Exactly. Yeah. So I also have the town. There's a large town that I call Herschel that is on the Furundian side, that is basically functions as a suburb to Critwall, even though and it also is one of the eastern. That's an old map. I moved Herschel up to where the bridge is because you can see Critwall bridge is in wrong spot here. So
makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is done 15, 18 years ago, so I didn't read the story. So you have a map that is old. But anyway, so I moved that town up, and it functioned both as the eastern anchor of Furundi in that sense, because originally we have to remember the Shieldlands was part of, in my take, was part of the Ferrond, so to speak, the old viceroyalty of Ferrond, so to speak. So that meant that Herschel was just a suburb of the important Critwall, but then the border happens to be in the middle of the river, so that changed things. So now I have it that Herschel is a barony, and that's the seat of it, but it's still kind of both a suburb to Critwall and the eastern anchor of the Furundi, so to speak. And so that's my take on that area.
I hate to bust your bubble, Anna.
Yep.
But in the U.S., and I don't know how it works in Europe, one state at a river has from the waterway the entirety of the river in most cases.
Most in Europe, most of them are divided. That are divided rivers.
Yeah,
they're
not
divided.
in
You
the
have
US.
half of half, so to speak, but that varies. But I think the norm, most of them, like the Rhine and others. But you have to realize in Europe, most river borders have been fought over generations of wars to be had, so to speak.
Jay, like the Mississippi divides a lot of states. You're saying it only belongs to one of the states.
Right. Well, so for example, the Delaware River is all down where Delaware and Jersey meet. There was a charter 1680 or whatever. The waterway of Delaware it was set. The state of Delaware was the entirety of the Delaware where it met Jersey. So much so that when the water actually receded a couple feet, there was actually land on the Jersey side that is in the state of Delaware.
Yeah. And that says another interesting because in Europe, if you go back to Bronze Age and early Iron Age and like pre-Roman times, most borders in Europe were big forests, and the realms were usually set along rivers. So the rivers were in the middle of realms and country, because we can't talk about countries in modern sense because they weren't invented back then, but realms that were under a warlord or a king or whatever, they were usually centered around the river, just like in the Nile and the Levant around the Tigris and the Euphrates River and stuff. So they were river cultures because rivers were the main communication. So it was in the borderlands were between big rivers. And then when more modern warfare and stuff was invented and so on, and horse riding and a bunch of stuff, then rivers became a natural border. So that shifted up and into medieval times. That shifted, and in Europe, those borders, those wars were hot fought, so to speak. So the rivers became borders. And sometimes one country was trying to limit the
so no one
traffic from the but then you have really each time the rivers, they meander and they shift, and that has been another reason why these conflicts have a tendency of popping up again, because all of a sudden there's a little island that pops up in the middle of the river,
like where Mike lives. There's what's that town that there's like 4 houses on it now? It's an island that got cut off for a middle.
I don't know.
And also
Europe, on the Missouri side of the river.
And also Europe haven't had that overall authority over stuff like in America, meaning you can go to the federal level when you squabble over a border. In Europe, you went to war and you settled it by arms, so to speak.
The main bridge near where I live over the Mississippi is owned by Illinois because the town that it's attached to is in Illinois. On the other side, in the Missouri side, is nothing but gas stations and wildlife preserves. So it's an Illinois bridge that goes into Missouri.
Kaskaskia. It's called Kaskaskia.
That's not really me, but okay.
Additionally, Grand Tower Island.
But there are European countries that have a lot of these weird kind of things, especially the Netherlands and Belgium are full of these little enclaves, and sometimes it's an exclave in an enclave. So you can be in the Netherlands and there's a little piece of Belgium in there and some houses that belong to whatever. So there are some of these remnants from the old feudal whatever back in the day. So that is So that is definitely part, and that can be fun in a fantasy world. You can have all sorts of stuff. You can have like one ruler is owning a little piece of a land inside another country, and then there can be different rights to go there and stuff. And Europe is full of these weird things.
A town in the UK just declared themselves split from the United Kingdom.
Well, yeah, we have there's a region in Sweden that they declare their own king or whatever. Yeah, but that's why you have a royal authority. They simply say, no, you can't. You are subjects to me, and you can declare, but we will come and seize you. So yeah, and it's like Spain. Yeah, exactly. It's like Spain. It would be like a state in America can't just declare themselves not part of America. That needs to be acknowledged by federal authorities too. Oh, they can, but they will not take legal effect until recognized by the parties. And that's another interesting part. Who is recognized as a city? This discussion that can vary from realm to realm. Most kings of Europe, you had a city charter. you had to be recognized by the ruler as a city, and that gave you privileges to collect taxes and stuff like that. But it also gave you responsibilities. You had to pay the king or the ruler for that privilege, and then you were allowed to raise defenses and walls and do all sorts of. You can invent cool stuff in a fantasy, meaning the city might have the right to have a wizard to educate wizards or whatever it is, so to speak. You can.
I don't know about the definitions of cities then, Anna, because in the real world, I don't even want to go into that.
Yeah.
I live in a city, and my town's under 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Next door is a city that is larger than us, and it's called a village.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's
form of government too.
Yeah. And like in Sweden, they abolished all of it. They used to have like small cities, like townships, and then you had cities, and then you had the country. Now they're all communities, and they abolished it. And that is something you can have in a fantasy world too. What this king just declares, now the land functions differently, and there will be political turmoil, and you have to go out fight the king for it. And, meaning these are adventure ideas you can play with, and stuff. You have to defend. You own a You own a castle or you run a town, and all of a sudden the king just declares that it's no longer your town or your whatever it is or something. Yeah.
Because Gary, let's be honest. How long can the king of Furundi actually live for? I mean, king of Keeland, right? How long can he?
Yeah.
How long can he be the only one that hasn't faced the slaughter of all the others? Right. So he's been around what? 40 years?
Maybe 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years of game time.
550s. Yeah.
So, Gratzel was a metropolis, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that last week a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago.
It's right there on the edge. It's 25,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Nialdra, the capital.
Oh, Nialdra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on the edge. Okay.
Which is up from the box set, Gary. It used to be 21.
The population increases. Yep.
Yeah. And I think Anna mentioned last time that what's interesting about Nialdra is it's really just it's a big garden city. It has no defenses.
They probably just wanted to show off how strong they were as an empire.
Exactly.
They didn't even need it. They put the money in decorations and fancy buildings.
What I like to think about it is that it actually almost demonstrates the arrogance of the Sul Imperium. It is a vestige of that arrogance, where beauty, Phaeton, the god of managed gardens.
but Gary, hasn't they been right? Nialdra hasn't been invaded or taken
it has
by.
not.
Exactly. So they're right. Okay.
Not true. When I was 12.
Oh, come on.
In his campaign.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
That's awesome, Jay. That was awesome.
It was awesome. Attacked.
Yeah, that was awesome.
In fact,
did they succeed?
Jernra was overtaken for a bit. In that thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that on this list? Let's see.
Yep.
Yes, because it was all about armies and mass combat and stuff. Because we were coming from we're still coming from a wargaming perspective. Back when in 1980. So those were the fun days. But yeah.
Another city that's probably good for political intrigue, that sort of thing, but not a lot of adventure.
And it can also be good for downtime in the way that you can acquire titles.
Well,
they might, and also they probably have good armor smiths and stuff like that. You want to have fancy, cool equipment in order to show off.
Yeah, but if you're playing a Silent Ones versus Seekers versus everyone else deal, then it's a big place.
Yeah,
for that kind of intrigue, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it definitely is a big place. Yeah.
There's no dungeons. There's no suggestion that it was built on top of anything ancient.
Right.
It's probably a swampy riverbed.
It's Nile. I always thought it was Neil. I thought it was always Nialdra. It's Nile.
I just go with Nile. I don't know.
Okay. I got a Q-Lane question, Gary.
Yeah.
All right. In the Great Kingdom, you have the Malachite throne, and like in Game of Thrones, you got the Throne of Swords or whatever, right?
They have
in Q-Land, you've got the Lion Throne. Does it have like a lion pelt draped over it or something?
They probably should.
Has anyone
Yeah,
ever
I
looked
mean,
into that?
that is the device of the kingdom, and it's specifically for the king. But we talked about how climate is a little different than you were expecting in the Flannis. So Keelan could have had lions, especially in the south.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. And meaning both big cats, the reason that we only have them in Africa and parts of Asia today is because they were hunted to extinction, meaning up until Roman times there were lions in Europe.
Well, as we know from watching World Cup games, the device of England has 3 little lions lying on top of each other.
But those were
Those
inventions
were
that
Richard the
came afterwards.
Lionheart, though, weren't they?
Exactly. They
Yeah.
were
So you don't
more.
need the animal to exist in your
Yeah.
kingdom in order to be
Their
represented.
flag is also the Crusader.
And there were
cross.
American lions up until 20,000 years
letting
ago, when the first human settlers came to North
I'm letting
America.
Sam hop on so we can control them.
Oh God.
So I think one good thing about Nile Draw
What's
is
up,
you can use
Sam?
it a place to consult. If your PCs need to consult some ancient knowledge, or visit the
Yeah.
Silent Ones,
Yep.
even that's a great place to send them to do
Yeah,
that
they
kind
could
of
probably
stuff.
have like cool libraries and stuff in there. They were
And if they're
fantastic.
asking the wrong questions, stuff might happen to them.
And they have to bribe, otherwise they will not be let in even.
I've been having more and more. I won't have any of my characters knowingly join the Silent Ones, but I've had a couple of them join the Seekers because there's that Seeker Tower now is in Altamira. So
yeah, I tend to view the Silent Ones as almost like an NPC organization. It'd be tough to be a PC, but it's possible. But the Seekers for sure. I mean, that's totally for adventurers.
Kellic was a Seeker, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
That's because adventurers are amoral.
What's that?
That's because adventurers are amoral. They lean towards seekers. The Silent Ones actually have, a code.
I have a code.
Yeah, kind of like Comstar in BattleTech code. Yeah, which is like, we're right, you're wrong, so you're dead. Yeah, right. It's a little, a little crazy there. All right, so tell me about. So Jernra is the capital, which is in a weird place for the county Ulick.
So it's not on the list here, so it must be small.
Really? Sam,
it's not.
What's Jernra? What size?
Sorry, give me a second. Genre is there. It is at 13.1 thousand.
There you go.
That's
okay.
That's up.
That's up. It's misspelled.
Yeah.
Junre.
Jurnre. Jernra.
There's an extra R in there, Sam.
Okay. I need to change that.
No, I think that's correct. Jurnre, isn't it? With 2 R's.
I think so.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Sam's list has it wrong.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
wonderful! I've typed something right for once.
It's a trilled R.
Yes.
How would you roll that R?
So I don't know much about Jernra, but I've used it a lot.
Oh.
Now, and Tommy,
James, you want to talk about it? You've done some work on that.
On Jernra? Yeah.
Me? No.
It's in Fata Vistas.
Oh boy.
A very detailed map.
Is it? Oh gosh.
Was it
keyed locations?
Founded by druids or?
Oh my gosh!
One of the oldest cities.
Yes, I can't believe I gotta get Fata Vistas.
One of the oldest cities, yeah.
Okay, I did misspell it.
That's all right. It happens, man. It's no big deal.
When I did Control F, I was like, I can't find it. It's up there.
Page 25.
I've always spelled it without the R, without 2 R's. There you go.
Woo! Look at that map.
Okay.
Not bad.
It's one of the better ones from
it is one of the better ones.
It's one of the better ones in that book. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, cool.
And they're not bad as maps. They're just that some of the city design in there are like from TSR, usually very bad. Some of them, but this one is the better ones. Yep.
Yeah, they didn't have any software, so someone did that by hand.
Yep.
Served its purpose for the time.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a good idea.
According to Tommy John Kelly's stories of the Hateful Wars, when the first humanoid army is ejected out to the west, they don't have anywhere to go, right? They don't know where they're going, so they go to Jernra and they sack it, actually. So this city was sacked 100 and whatever years ago.
About
But they didn't stay there long. Yeah.
505.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what your time frame is. Yeah. But yeah. 105 to base. Yeah. So, but that, whoops, what the heck happened there? But it's cool. I mean, it's supposedly, you're right, founded by druids. I mean, what else? It's got a druid grove in it, which is here it is. Now, Altimere's got a druid grove too. I mean, it's just how much got a druid grove?
No, but I see one places where you can have a lot of old flan culture still around.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so, Anna.
Yeah.
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 And I think that flan culture, the old faith, has been adopted by a lot of Floridians. And
I also see it's one of these places where the elves and the flan might have aligned in order to preserve some of the old cultures and stuff.
Well, in my Vecna stuff, this is the heart of the resistance to Vecna. So elves and humans working together.
Yeah, and they kind of kept that tradition into modern times.
I think so. And they rejected the Kielish imperial phase, so they ended up leaving the country. So
and I'm wondering if I'm wondering the following. All of this is because someone in the 1980 folio said a druid runs the county of Ulick.
Yeah, exactly. And then we spun from that little fact. Yes.
Right.
Well, that's Greyhawk in a nutshell. I mean, we do that all over the place.
But that's how good world building. You take one little embryo and you just
started. It's like, well, why is there, because I mean, I probably put more stuff in here than anyone has ever have, Carlos and me, right? So, and I've only done a little quarter of it. There's nothing. There's nothing in this place.
Well, okay, that brings up a good point for the whole discussion for this entire set of cities. Just because there isn't a city somewhere doesn't mean there isn't one.
I agree.
Because a lot of this depends on how, for instance, the designers were involved in developing that area, whether the LG crowd was involved in developing that area. So there's some areas where Anna has a lot of density of points because there's a lot of lore for her to grab. And other places there isn't because people didn't take the time.
Yeah,
humans tend to distribute themselves in a fractal manner. So they follow rivers and coastlines, and so you're going to find humans all over the place, and their cities and towns. So if they're not there and you want to create one, go ahead, because it's definitely open to that.
I agree.
Gary, there's a perfect example of that, and that's Alhaster that was developed by Paizo for Hawk era. That was, I think, fit perfectly within the lore, but it was invented later on, so to speak. And
Carl Sargent added Rel Deven, a very big city. He added Kalstrand.
Well, he had the benefit of having access to the Darlene, being able to edit the Darlene map.
That's true. Yeah, that's a plus.
My devil's advocate on that, Gary, is starting with the Darlene map as your base. If there is, I would assume, at least back in the day, that there would be no cities bigger than what's already posted on that map.
I would tend to agree with you, except for you don't want to go
Carl went and did it.
Like if the biggest cities are 60, 70,000, Relastra, Greyhawk, you don't want to put another city that's way bigger than those.
No, exactly.
You need to explain why. But if you go down from those, I think there's definitely plenty of room to add more cities, and we add more cities every time there's a project that advances the setting.
Like Sasserine.
Yeah, exactly. Sasserine and another, but they also had the advantage that they're far off the
Jacob's own campaign.
But to a degree, when you add too big of a city, it throws off a lot of campaign development.
Yes, you could overdo it by adding too many new cities or by making too many big new cities.
Towns, no problem.
Yeah. There was an interesting YouTube presentation that talked about the geoeconomic development of Greyhawk and why there, and it had made some good points. Like there's places where you'd expect a city, the mouth of certain massive rivers, and there are not there. So there's room to add some more stuff, especially on the east side of the map. But why
would you go there?
If you don't have to do it, don't do it.
Yeah, it's my pet peeve, Nessermouth,
But-
that I made
but
into
some
a
DMs
large city in my
I went
campaign.
right to it.
Yeah.
I knew what you were going to talk. I
Some-
knew
That is
you know,
like a
some-
town or something, and only in lore, but I made it into a large city because
Some DMs want to create their own thing. Like
I'm
Altamira.
imagining when Jay's players, their characters are sailing across the Azure Sea, they just kind of fall off the end of the earth.
it's flat.
Okay,
By the way,
that's a good.
yeah, the aired and Troller Games is aired is flat. It's not technically it's not as I mean, even though it's supposed to be Venus, I don't so a million years ago, but
So here's a good example. Jay added Altamira. If he said Altamira were 50,000 people, it would be difficult to explain.
It is absolutely, and it's still growing, but it's only up to like 8,000.
That perfectly fits the
Avatar.
size template of Greyhawk. I mean, 8,000 is perfect. That could definitely be there. Dennis added Melco on the other, and it also is where you place it. It's not just that you place it, but where you place it. Dennis added his Melcot city on the other side of the Tors, and it doesn't interfere with anything. It doesn't upset any lore. So,
I would suggest that you don't need a city everywhere like that. Towns really will serve. It's just most of us living in the modern times kind of have a little difficulty appreciating that. No, having around 2,000 or 3,000 people living that close together is kind of densely populated and difficult for most people to deal with. There's a limit on how many people you can remember and associate with. And lo and behold, that tends to be around the town size. Sorry, the village size. That's why villages are that big. That's how many people you can know, trust, associate with. Towns, depending on how they're structured, could just be a collection of villages close together, and then cities are collections of towns and villages that grow together. So a town is a big thing. People are starting to not really know all their neighbors.
Thanks, Moose.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of these places where you might say, oh, there should be a city, it's like, no, maybe you just need a town there.
Yeah, I mean that and there's plenty of room for towns.
Yeah. But Jay and Sam, this ties into another big question. Where do cities pop up and why do they pop up? That's something you need. If you want to add settlements, you need to start thinking why. Meaning they pop up due to various different things. One of the most obvious is economic reasons. A lot of people assemble in one area to trade, or there is so much fertile land that so many people want to settle there. That's kind of one of the most obvious reasons you have cities, because it's so favorable conditions that people gravitate to that area, and then they coalesce to buy and sell things and build theaters, and the leaders start squabbling over what the rules should be, and so on and so forth. But then you have other cities that are more for other reasons. You can have cities in Borre. Critwall was, in my opinion, one of these cities that was not there because it was a lot of people who moved in and a very fertile country. No, that was a place that was chosen because it was a defensible strategic location for the empire that founded it. So they might have strategic military value, or they are simply ordered into being by someone powerful, and they run a deficit for many, many years until they get settled, and eventually they might become draws in their own might. Like someone might establish a temple, and then people start going on pilgrimages and stuff like that to go there, and then you have like a tourist-based economy almost, and stuff like that. And then there are areas that might have a mine or a very important resource. It might be a salt mine or gold or whatever it is.
Here comes Jay's question.
Yeah.
Where are the Darlene cities placed haphazardly, or do most of them make sense?
Most of them do make sense because they are on transportation hubs. They are along rivers or something, or they are like by lakeside, or they are the coastline, because most cities, it depends on what the modes of transportation, meaning most cities in the world are port cities, because most cities were founded 500 to 600 to 700 years ago, when seafaring was starting to be the predominant means of moving goods around the world. And
then you get a city like Chendal, which doesn't make sense, but then designers go back and explain why.
Yeah, because it was a design, the Belvoir, or the king chose that place. It was constructed.
Yeah, that's
because,
right.
Probably
Shendal,
because
Shendal is a construct, and does that fall into the city, Shendal? Yeah, it must. It's gotta.
Yeah, but it's not a stupid location, probably because the areas are probably fertile, beautiful, and stuff like that. But and it's by the Crystal River, so it's not terrible, but it's not the obvious place. Meaning Divers is much more of an
Shendal's
obvious.
like DC.
Yeah, or
place there because people can get to it.
One famous example in the world is the Brasilia, the capital of Brazil,
right.
that was designed in the 1960s. That just moved out into nowhere, just to place it in the middle.
Brasilia doesn't have a floating garden.
You have to fly into it. There's no roads
exactly.
to it.
So Shendal is probably somewhere in between. Not as bad choice as Brasilia originally, but still constructed. My guess is that they wanted to move the center of the country closer to where they wanted population to move, because the Vesvi and all the riches in the north and ambitions and stuff. So away from Divers, the old.
Expected to keep control of Perrin land and other places north.
One bit of oddness you can get with a city location, though, is sometimes they're not going to be built in the obvious location. For example, Rome is not built on the coast.
Exactly. It's built a bit inland. Yeah.
Well, specifically for defense.
Right. Right.
So they have Ostia. The same thing with Athens. Athens has the long walls to get to its port.
Yep.
So sometimes you're going to have cities away from the areas.
Yep.
The thing that you then have to account for is, for some of them, and especially for the larger cities, is where are they getting their fresh water?
Yep, that's another great point.
Rome built aqueducts, great honking, humongous aqueducts.
Yep.
And they were secure enough that they didn't have to worry about the aqueducts getting taken out on a constant basis. Even during their, so they kind of came a little bit after they secured control of Italy and the nearby area, won the Punic Wars.
Excuse me.
But again, it's a factor to consider with some of these city locations.
Right. I was watching World War II, the Tom Hanks thing. Alex could not break through Monte Cassino, which was in a pass on the way to Rome. They couldn't get through it for months. That's why they had to land at Anzio.
At Germany couldn't take Leningrad for the whole war. They held out
too.
But Stalingrad
then
was
they got trapped there.
But so they are so that's a good point, Sam. Meaning you have to start thinking defensible, and some of the cities are probably built as bastions on the borders. I'm thinking one of your pet projects, Gary, the Spine Castle. That was probably built to be a fortress. Yeah, exactly. And it needed a big population to support it, and to make sure you can maintain it and maintain your presence, so to speak.
Yeah.
Spine
Castle on the original Darlene map?
Yeah. Yes.
I think it is. Cool. Yeah.
All right, cool.
However, they added another Spine Castle in Furiandi for some strange reason.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess they opened a franchise.
Yeah.
1 second here.
But on the other hand, it kind of a name generator might have just popped up and
there could have been an editing issue or something.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw Spine Castle in the text but didn't find it on the map and then just added it on.
But then there's some weird city.
There's a second Dora Ka too.
Oh yeah, Dora Ka, but that is deliberately spelled different, and that's part of the story. That was not by mistake. But there is one city that I think is an old one in Greyhawk that is kind of weirdly located, and that's the town of Exag up in Perrinland, or the free city of Exag, which is kind of an odd one out, up in the mountains.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
So it must be small. Sam, what do you have?
No, it
Population
is fairly big. It comes with a backstory and stuff that was in a Dragon or Dungeon magazine. I forgot which. That
Well,
has
when did it first appear there?
It's
It was always on the map.
Oh, it was
yeah,
on
it was
Darlene's
always
too.
on the map. Yeah, and
Oh, yeah,
it's
look at the
old
name.
according
It's
to
a-
Rod. Yep.
It has Gygax letters
Oh
in it.
yeah, look at that.
Exactly.
Gax.
It's yeah.
Sam, what's
And
the
it was an
population?
old Flan city from the article.
Did I miss it? I don't see it on my sheet.
It's probably low.
EXAG.
Yeah.
It's probably low.
There's a great dungeon article on it.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
an adventure.
Yeah.
It's unique in that it's made of clay.
Yep.
So not stone, not wood, but clay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
According
suggestion
to my
is
notes, it's
maybe
under
that it
10.
wasn't built by any humans that we know about.
Right. Okay. Exag is not given a population in the LGG. It's sort of an empty city. It was built by pre-humans of some sort. Right. And they decided to built out of clay. I'm not sure it does have a population, but it's difficult to really classify it the way it's structured in that adventure.
Right.
I can speak on this one because I've actually used it within the last few months. The dungeon adventure in question on it was used for a 3-part series. I can't remember the author. Anyhow, Exag, like Sam says, is got some dubious origins. The population they gave in the module, anyhow, is 8,500, but it's twice that size.
Right.
It can hold
empty
because people are just leaving, and it's just dying out. Yep.
What was the reason for them dying out? Bad economy, bad living conditions?
All the above, Anna. And they're on drugs. They're on drugs as well.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the adventure hooks. Is you're trying to figure out the drug.
Oh,
yeah.
How peso?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that a recurring theme from Paizo hockey era? Well, it was the wild 90s, so yeah.
Yeah. Looking at the time, guys, I don't know if we're going to be able to go through all of this list. Maybe we should cherry pick some of our favorites from this list.
I'm going to start. Hardby.
Go for it, Jay. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of lore for Hardby.
Lot of lore, lot of fun, lot of burning the city down, a lot of cutting heads off, a lot of backstabbing. Yeah, so it's a great.
It's a port city. Yeah.
Piracy, all sorts of stuff. Hardby is like the shithole to to Greyhawk. Let's be honest. But it's salty. That's right. Patrick. But it's still a cool. It's a cool place.
What the heck?
He's throwing up. See, he's using bits to expand on like emotes and stuff. Yeah.
Is that a new feature? Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of. And hey, he has fun with it. It's all good. Yeah, absolutely. I love the city. I know Brian Blomkotz was a favorite of his too. Too bad he's not participating anymore after all these years. But like I would love to see more done with it.
You use all the sources that have been written
Journal
for it.
10 and Luby's both. It's a hybrid of both. In fact, I had
like
the guy on. I had the guy on who did Earth Journal 10.
Oh yeah, we had him on a few years ago.
Yeah, we had him on I think it was on Gavin. We had him on.
Yeah, it was great talking to him.
Yeah. Did Fritz do time there in Hardby? No, Fritz did not. Fritz was actually, if you want to know, Fritz was actually in jail in Rushford. Here at home.
Was it an all-women's prison?
Oh, Gary!
Then he would have stayed there voluntarily. Yeah.
Yes. So he was in jail in Rushford and then in Kierford, and then they got him out of jail, and that's why he got conscripted. And he got conscripted to here, and that's where that adventure started. Winchester's Bulwark here. That's where he tried to escape from multiple times, but Poo Poo and Kaka tracked him down each time and brought him back. Their only mission, the first like 5 adventures I did in that thing, was to bring him back. That was all he had to do, was keep an eye on Fritz. So that's how. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep.
No, I mean, it's definitely a good alternative to using Greyhawk. You could have the PC start there, eventually go to Greyhawk. Have the city looming
Yeah.
as a hook for the future.
Mm-hmm. And port cities are also great because you can then use a ship voyage to go to another place and you
That's
can
right.
simply, well, you take the ship and nothing special happen, and then you're in a new place. You can kind of port city hopping, so to speak, and then do some adventuring land-based in between.
Mike, you've done that kind of campaign, right?
Hopping?
Yeah, like city
Putting your
hopping
PCs
on
on
a
a
ship,
ship,
and
having a
yeah, and
ship,
then you
and
go from place to
traveling.
Yeah.
place.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a big hopper there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, my favorite
yeah.
set of cities to hop is in the Sea Princes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
well,
has a couple of them. Yeah.
Portoli,
why
Monberg.
don't
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense though, because that's their, that absolutely makes total sense. So, which cities here? Monmouth, right?
And then
Bomber
inland
is
you
one of
got
my
Yeah.
Hokar.
favorites.
Yeah.
15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Where else did you say, Mike?
Hokar inland.
yeah, Hokar in inland. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Westkeep's just on the verge of being
Yeah, which
a
is
large city.
then occupied by Keelland trying
Hokars.
to
What the
keep a
heck's it called?
foothold.
Oh,
There's yeah.
Hokar is actually the biggest city in the Sea Princes, which is
is it?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
Another example of having an inland capital away from being conquered by others and stuff. So yeah. And there's also another city there that I think on my map that was introduced in LG that I kind of don't really like. That it's at Red Shore. I like the name, but it's just north of Munberg on the mainland side, so to speak.
Red
Mm.
And to me,
Red
it's like it's one of these cities that is a little bit too big for its presence. There is a tiny little island, and they have a big city there, which to me sounds like they ought to run out of water if nothing else.
Is it from
But
Ghost
it's
of Saltmarsh?
yeah, but it's a big city with no lore attached to it. So someone
Oh, that's a
invented a
shame.
big city, but they didn't invent a lot of lore. There's no big reason. There's no integration to anything. It's kind of an empty shell.
Oh, that's gotta
Which
be from Ghosts.
yeah, so it's that's kind of sad, so to speak. Especially in Seattle is another one that was also just popped out of nowhere when you have salt marsh.
Our old friend Casey Brown has a write up on Seaton in the North Journal. It's pretty
Yes, he
good.
does.
I think it was LG rather than Paizo.
Yeah. And I mentioned this multiple times over the weekend because I threw Zeech.
Oh, do you think it was
Okay.
the living Greyhawk triad? Living Greyhawk Keelland triad that added it?
There's another split rock down there too.
Yeah, there is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Split Rock is actually a location in the Poconos in PA. It's actually a split rock at the top of a mountain. Top of it, it's actually a large hill. Yeah. So, but so I don't know the size of Seaton. Salt Marsh has grown over the years, probably too
Yeah.
big.
I don't think any of them over 12,000.
What about Port
I
Torvin
mean,
or
LG, anything could happen. And
Westkeep is a really cool city that was all the way on Darlene's map.
yeah, I think, and it also has a cool story and
It does.
lore
A
and
lot of
stuff.
history.
So yeah, so it's the opposite from Red Shore, meaning Westkeep is
And
well documented and yeah.
if you look at the way that
Bigger.
Anna designed it, it also has that Rome separation. Westkeep is not actually on the Javon River.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You have
And
to
that
put a
might
port
also be
Westkeep.
on purpose, so to
They got
speak.
it. Well,
They wanted a bigger bridgehead. Yeah.
Well, I think it's dangerous. I
Yeah,
think it's
it was
extremely
dangerous.
dangerous.
The story
Yeah.
is dangerous because they got stranded there and then they had to
Yeah.
fight just to cling on and do dear life, so to speak.
Lots
See
of
my
lizards
point,
and feral halflings.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did some looking. Saltmarsh is supposed to be 2,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and Burl and Seaton are about 20 miles away, and they are larger.
Well, Burl's always been larger.
But it doesn't actually give
Number.
a population for those two.
Yeah.
So that is a bit dense packed, 20 miles.
Do
For
you have
another
anything
town.
do you have anything for Port Torvin? Because that's more strategically located.
Port Torvin If it's given a population, it would have to be in
that is a later thing. I think it might be a LG or something from that era. It's
it would
later.
have to be an LG thing.
Yeah, it's not from the early days.
I have my own population figures for all that sequence of stuff too.
Awesome.
Nice. We'll have to extract those from you, Mike.
But I go by the rule that the marked cities are always going to be bigger than, it's going to de-escalate.
No, Torvin's not given a population.
Okay. Well, Longmere J is one of the places where I've done a lot of work, so I'm actually going to put out a Hardby write-up for that.
I think that would be great. I think I would love to see more Damn the Torpedoes, piracy, adventures, and high seas stuff. I love that.
What kind of figure is that starts pumping his chest there?
Well, see, you got to remember, if you subscribe to channels, you get all their emotes. So that may be from some other channel's emote, and he can,
okay.
So
I've never seen it before, and I'm trying to learn Twitch, so I had to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And I could see that Anna put a bunch of little settlements from my map on the map there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them from the various salt marsh, like Bale Keep and Brinestone Keep and Macaster House and the Dwarven Mine and stuff, and Tower of Sinopus and various locations. Yeah.
Okay, this is something I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about why cities are where. So generally, a market would be about 5 to 10 miles away. This is because of how far a farmer walking or with a cart could travel in a day. So villages are usually a mile apart.
Yeah.
And so you get something almost, okay, I don't know how to describe it. You get a sort of a beehive shape if you track the locations of cities and towns, the older ones across Europe, sort of a beehive, because you have to have a town in the middle of your villages. And then you have to have, the towns have to be able to reach each other, and then they have to reach the cities.
Yeah.
So 20 miles between Saltmarsh and Seaton is a bit on the close side. However, because they're ports, they can support a bit more population. And presumably Burrell has some kind of port traffic too, if it's along a river.
Well, it's like Pittsburgh. It's on the merge of two rivers into one.
Well, yeah. So again, it's going to be able to support a little more population than you'd expect. Because it's got all the fish coming in and not just grain being grown, but that's going to be a factor with how and where you're going to get cities and towns popping up.
Yeah, but
a lot of these settlements are going to be pounded by tropical storms, so a lot of them, like Longmere, they're on the north or the west side of the land so that they can have a break.
But it's also a good place to live because it's subtropical, perfect for growing stuff, so to speak. So it's probably very, very, if you can find a patch of soil, you can grow things, and it's probably growing better than most other places in the Flannies.
So JV once calculated that Gradsol is where Miami is. So think of everything south of Gradsol as south of Miami. This is very Caribbean.
Yeah, it's subtropical, humid and warm and mild winters. Yeah.
Makes sense. So Dreadwood's very hot then.
Yeah, they're kind of the Mediterranean forest, like in Spain or Greece or Lebanon or something like that, and climate-wise. Yeah.
Those southern forests verging into the maybe the whole verges into Everglades territory, but otherwise this is going to be bayou territory.
Yeah.
All those nice wet forests throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, northern Florida. You'll have your hanging Spanish moss and everything. And
if I recall, pictures from Sasserine had Spanish moss all over the place too. Is that too far south
That
for that?
Sasserine is more tropical, so you can have that too, but that means that you don't have any winters to speak of, so to speak. You
Give
have
us
like a drier season and a rainy season, but it's warm all year round.
Give us a population there, Sam, of Sasserine.
Okay, Sasserine wasn't in the LGG, so I didn't.
It's a fairly big one,
But
probably
It's
20,000
surprisingly
or
big.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twenty?
It's
20,
surprising.
20, 30,000, 40 maybe even. It's a big one. Yeah.
We didn't put it in
Oh,
the. No,
That's
I
the
think it's
thing.
in,
Yeah.
I think it's in the
I
20s.
downplayed it a bit, but if you look at the map, it's a huge place. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
This is a case where, you know, when you're adding something, you have to consider.
Yeah. Many Hawk,
The impact.
and even simply they have bigger ambitions published wise, and so the map looks like it's way bigger than Greyhawk, but I downplayed it a bit because
cool that there's a city there, but I probably would keep it around 10,000.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, tropics can be nasty too.
Looks like the wiki has it at 15.6.
That
Okay,
sounds
good.
right.
Yep.
That's
That sounds
okay. That's
more
okay.
reasonable.
Yeah. All
Yep.
right, and then yeah. And
yeah, I'd say getting down there, you're getting, I guess,
the most.
Acapulco, Mexico.
Yeah, this is the most ridiculously placed city in all
Wow.
of Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calder is
yeah.
one of these
Ridiculously placed
fantasy.
and
Yeah.
ridiculously designed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
We're living in the
yeah.
we're living in the caldera of a volcano.
We got to figure out where to put this, guys. You know, if we're gonna place it in Greyhawk, we got to put it somewhere. Well, look, there's
Well,
a
they
central-
put it next. They put it next to the other city they already put there, so I think that's why it ended up there.
Yeah, well, I agree too, but yeah, it's just
No.
kind of got to put it near a volcano. Where are the volcanoes? You know.
Yeah.
So,
They invented the volcano
Yeah.
too, so yeah.
So, Jay, if you want to jump to the east side,
sure.
I would like to. One of the coolest cities in the planet, in my opinion, for adventure,
Yeah.
Neural, and it appears
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
Gygax novels.
I agree.
It is literally a keep on the borderlands.
I actually
Yep.
said if I were ever to do if I were ever to do anything on the eastern side of the map, this is where I'd start it. It's
Yeah.
close enough. It's close enough to Spine Castle that you could do stuff there. It's on its own, right?
It's at the convergence of those rivers. It
Yeah.
should be, and it is. I've seen so many maps of Neural.
Yeah, I got this. Here, I got
Fans
one
have
here.
done so many maps of it. It's very interesting to see their different takes on it.
Yeah, I got
Yep.
one here. I think
Some of them got the rivers wrong. Some of them got
this one's
everything right.
backwards.
So yeah.
That one's
Yes.
backwards.
Now,
Yeah, you flip it that way, then it works. Yep.
here's an interesting thing about Neural. In Dragon 57, the military news that
Right.
I guess you're
Events in
writing.
the eastern southern Flannis. Yes.
Okay, so Neural, an independent town under the control of evil humans, is said to be recruiting hobgoblins and any other willing humanoid types for a campaign to capture blah 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 blah.
Well, here's the thing.
It was held by Niron for a while too.
Here's the thing.
I think.
That was written by Rob Kuntz, and no one listened to him at a certain point. After a certain point.
57? No, I think 57 was the last one Egg did, wasn't it?
Ed?
Egg, Gary.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought that Rob was writing them.
No, Gary started writing them. Rob took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't recall who. I didn't write down who wrote each one.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so it's like at the border of 3 different realms, so it's always changing hands, very precarious. A great place to start a campaign from.
Absolutely.
And there's Gord lore from the area too, because he goes up there to rescue Evely from Count Lemu.
Oh yeah, we put Evely in Radix.
You can get a lot of I don't think the city in itself is mentioned that much, but the surroundings, you get a lot of flavor from it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I just checked. Yes, the issue 57 installment has Egg's name as the byline, and it even says, for those of you who wish to plan ahead, Rob Kuntz will cover the action surrounding the Sea Barons. Blah blah blah.
Ah.
Meanwhile, I'll skip to the Lordship of the Isles. Blah blah blah, and then other stuff.
Could it be argued that Egg is contradicting himself in the novels versus the Dispatch?
That I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happened. Yeah,
I'm not sure. Okay, because this is something I've brought up. kind of getting into, alternate history. Between what is written in that and what is written in Saga of Old City, the Count of Nurl is a pretty nasty dude. He needs to be kept in line to his allegiance to Nairon, but he is overtly plotting with the Baron of Ratic to conquer the Bone March and unite the two little realms and start their own.
I mean, that means he's taking on the humanoid, so that's a good guy in my eyes.
So is that how then did he Evely end up on the Ratic throne eventually?
Oh, well,
what's the backstory there?
He married his daughter off to the Baron's son in order to seal their union.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and there's a bit in Saga of Old City where that almost goes south because, of course, Gord and Evele were hooked up. He was bringing her home.
Yep. And Gellor is when Gellor is telling Gord all that backstory about it. That I think is brilliant storytelling.
Right. Are you saying that the future Baron needs a blood test?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Until he got killed, yes.
Definitely needs a blood test. I think that's also great storytelling. You can make chapter 2. You can go on a generation. It can be all sorts of.
Are any of these cities big? Is Marner the biggest one in the Attic?
Yes, I think it's the biggest one. The capital.
I don't think it makes this list. It's still small.
Yeah.
If you go down the coast, a tier makes this list. It's a pretty big area.
Belport probably makes should probably be big enough.
How far down to tier? I don't even know where it is.
A tier is east
right
coast.
Around there. I think you're close.
Marner is 6.6 thousand.
Small.
Yeah.
Ratic Hill is 5.5 thousand. And those are okay. Oh, and I should note, Marner was only 3.2 thousand in the folio box set.
So all these little cities right here, if you want to run a campaign where you have sort of Viking raids, this is the perfect place to kind of set that kind of campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A lot of people love this area, and
yeah.
I think it's
it's on the wrong side of the map, Jay. You can't go there.
I'm not saying for me. I'm saying for.
I mean, I would definitely put Nurl in the top 5 places to start a Greyhawk campaign.
Yes, I agree.
I agree, Gary. I think
which sounds like the subject of another show, Jay.
Yeah, huge potential. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that when top places start a Greyhawk campaign, and we could say both sides of the map in parentheses. But definitely it's got that. I love the free city feel. So I always liked Verbabank, right? Except for Divers, which is a shithole.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anna. Just kidding.
But we have one favorite that we haven't talked about yet that I think we need to mention at least, and that's probably the only elven one that is pure, and that's Instad is need to be mentioned. It's maybe not. It's barely big enough to make the cut, I think, but I think it's worth mentioning. It's one of the few demi-human cities capitals in the setting.
I'm sorry. Where's that, Anna?
Celine's capital, Instad.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I got.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think is it that big.
I have it as a small city. It's like maybe 8,000 or something like that.
So it's
it's on the low end of where we're going to.
Exactly. That's why I have it as a small city. So it's like somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people.
Yeah, we'll say that one because that's why I'm not doing Altamira this time either because it's under 10.
Oh, but you have Altamira as a large town. That's even smaller. Yeah.
Right.
You asked me what I wanted. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you wanted, and you said large town.
8,000 or 9,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8,000. Yeah, there you go. So, but like, Enstad, and I had the Aaron Frook map. I mean, it's the most beautiful map he did. Doesn't have a lot of locations on it, but it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there it is. Yeah.
Really cool. That's a great map.
Yeah, he did a great job with that. Is this one on Cannon Fire? Stampede?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
No, I haven't. I haven't posted it anywhere. It just, which it seems to be good because I'm finding all these little typos and stuff that slipped in.
Well, it's a more beautiful map than it is good city design, I think. But it's a gorgeous map. Yep.
Oh, the map. No, I don't do that.
Elves don't need economics or geographical reasons. They just
but
need beauty.
cities, but cities can be there for political reasons too, as a
Oh,
statement,
for sure.
so to
Yeah.
speak. And many you can start it out as a religious center near to the moon bow or whatever, and it became a place where they meaning enough interest and it creates its own economy.
You could have fae or mystical reasons
Yeah.
for existing where it
or
does.
like magical ley lines or whatever, something. Yeah.
He knew how to draw a map that had the eye candy on it. He's done.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's fantastic. That's what I was saying. That it's better as a map than the city design and the lore interaction, but it's such a beautiful piece of art in itself that I don't care what it looks like because it looks beautiful.
I have my Selene all. Most of the elves are spread out, estates, family estates, and a lot in the a lot in the forests, but not a lot of large cities because they learned to besides and
No, I only have
and Cowerwood, however you pronounce it. That's it at the bottom.
I would go with Corewood because I think it means
Corewood.
Yeah, Corewood.
Like
I think is
Heartwood.
I've always said Corewood since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's. Yeah. See, look, I've added towns. There's a little town, Burnt Mill.
Yeah.
So it turns out I'm looking at the list. Bandit Kingdoms has a couple that are on this list.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going up there.
One of them has a write-up by one of our friends,
William Henry Dvorak's
Rook Roost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another great one. I think that needs to be mentioned.
See if I can bring that up. Here we go.
And I think if you look at the map, these are some of the most northern, highly populated cities in the setting.
And it makes sense that they are on the Atonsamai, so they are on the major river, and then so you have Rock Roost and Red Span or some of the but then you have Nevon Nevend up there in the. That is even further. But that was
to ask Gygax where that name came from.
Yeah. But you're right. It's among the most known. Doraka is another one, and then you have to go over in the west to the Bakluni area where you have Fashtri and Ekbir and stuff that are also surprisingly far north.
All these Bandit Kingdoms seem like a natural place to start a campaign.
Yeah, Stoink, like wow. Yeah, Red Span.
Stoink is also on this list. It's
Yep.
What's the population?
Stoink's biggest one, isn't it?
Probably 13. Like 15, 20.
13.
Yeah.
What was Rook Roost?
17.
Okay.
Oh, Rook Roost is bigger, huh? Whoops.
Red Span was probably big before the wars and stuff too.
Rook Roost may be the biggest city in the Bandit Kingdoms.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think
Sam,
it's the.
Sam, I don't see Molag on this list. How big is Molag?
Oh, I want to have it big.
Molag may be on there, but it's ruined.
So Gary, Molag in the box set was 16,000.
There it is. It is way down.
But it goes way down after I
wasn't ruined. Yeah, it was at 576.
It was 16.2 thousand. It is down to 4,000. And since I listed everything by the LGG numbers, it's way down at the bottom.
See, that's going to be well, we're talking that time frame. It's going to come back it's going to come back next year.
Oh yeah, when Ayus comes back, I bet he simply drains the countryside.
No. But I'm talking about what we're doing, Anna. It's going to be back in its glory, back in the when you're talking the 570, so or 57 up to 575. So
Molag is there and MOLAG, right?
Yeah.
So I spelled it right, but it is under the LGG population, which is 4,000. It had been 16.2 thousand, so yes, definitely would qualify as a city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it would have the building size of a big city. Stoink, of course, is famous because it was one of the cities that Gygax proposed giving us at some point.
Exactly, they had, and it's Gord is there in the Gord novels. So if you want to,
we have a lot of lore there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a city that maybe is a lot closer to something in the Great Kingdom or Niron than a bandit kingdom. It seems to be something that may have changed hands in the
Well,
past.
this
Between.
says free city state of Stoink, so that leads me to believe
Mhm.
it's not a bandit kingdom state on
It
here.
is part of the Bandit Kingdom, but
It's considered
it's
part of the bandit kingdoms, but not all bandit kingdoms are equal.
exactly. But it's
they're
run
not
by
all as
a
bad.
thuggish whatever, so it's kind of
Yeah.
Uh, it's a city that to me feels like divers do to you, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
some, you
a
know,
it's a shithole.
it's a
Gygax
shithole.
wanted
Yes,
it to be
it's
kind of a
okay.
shithole.
There's a lot of shitholes in Greyhawk. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. But I have it
It's
for good
Stoinks.
reason. Yeah, I also have it that Stoink thrived simply because it was outside of the Great Kingdom. If you wanted to go outside and didn't want to be under the purview and the spell of the Overking, Stoink was one of your obvious choices because it was just across the border and you could go there and start a new life, kind of thing.
How about in the Ernst states? What do we got? What cities?
We've got Nelix.
Lokish. Yeah,
Lukish, the capital. Yeah.
Lokish is also mentioned in the Gourd books and has a rich
Lukish. And what was the other one? Nellis? Yeah. What?
Nelix.
Yeah, Nelix. Yeah.
Where's that one?
I think it's further south of Lukish.
We're talking about both duchy.
Dutch. Yeah, both of them
are
duchy.
Right
yeah.
now.
What about Seltaran?
Yeah, that one is mentioned, but I think it might be a later.
Oh, there's
I
Nelix.
think it
There's
might
Nelix.
be a later edition. Yeah.
I think I might have added Seltaran.
Okay, there you go. See.
But yeah, they're all pretty sizable cities.
Yeah.
Nelix, Eric did something cool with it, which was that he had a group of people called the Skeptics there, a society that kind of rejected the divinity of the gods.
They dare to be atheists in the world of Greyhawk. How dare they?
Well, they were, they knew the gods were there, but they thought they were monsters rather than things worthy of being worshipped.
It might have been the ones that are more right than most people believe.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of problems. They were punished, and so.
And then
Inspa is a cool city that's a little east from here.
Also depicted in the Gourd books. It makes up for its name. It has a lot of. It's a tourist destination, a lot of inns, and a lot of spas. Yeah.
Known as the city of 100 temples, even if it isn't exactly 100, it just seems to have a lot of temples for whatever reason.
It's very free-willing, free-spirited city.
Yeah, it seems to have maintained its independence.
Niron ruled it for a while, and then it ended up after the war in the United Kingdom of Elissa for various political shenanigans kind of thing. Yeah, but it's so far away from Karlstrand that I don't think the Savener has that much
influence on it.
Yeah. It might have been a way just stay out of Niron's grasp, so they kind of
But it's close enough to like the Bone March and North Kingdom and Adri that you could have a lot of adventure.
Exactly. Yep. Good one. And there is also one from Ivid the Undying that is kind of not mentioned much. And we have Narcel Mendred that used to be a city of Almor, that northern Almor that got almost wiped out. And then you have another city, Jenden, that is from the ashes. And also you have some of the old cities like Jalpa. That is an old city of the Great Kingdom. That is, if you want to run Game of Thrones, then Reldeven, Jalpa are really good candidates for that type of old family feuds and tournaments, political backstabbing, old money versus new money, tradition, pomp, and stuff like that. That legends and stuff like that. Then Jalpa is a great example from that. And then you have the little smaller ones. Exactly. Nolbish. Yeah.
Where's that? What?
Down in now we're on the wrong side of the map, Jay. So
I'm on the wrong side of the map. Yeah.
Okay, good. Go a little bit east.
Look for the Flanme River.
East.
Go from Roxy's south. Look south from Roxy's.
Yeah, where the Great Kingdom label is, and a little bit south of there. So yeah. Then you have Pontilver, Nolbish, Torrik,
or Torish.
Yep, and then south of that is Nolbish, where I think is the name Nolb comes from Nolbish, because Nolbish is probably way older than Nolbis. So yeah.
This is like the heartland of the Great Kingdom.
Exactly. Very much so. Yeah. And then you have Carnifan is a great town, and Ored south of Rossis. Yeah. And then the northern part up there also have some. We have Edgefield is one big from there. Delaric is another one, or Delaric.
Can I ask a question here? Is it like, I don't remember it being this way on the Darlene map for Paul and Tilver. Did you change this out of this area? Or is it like that? Is it like an inland, a deep inland?
You have to realize that the Darlene map, that is a green blob with some blue.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is, is that it
Hang on a second. Let me. I've looked at the Darlene map for a while.
That's a unique looking, harbor.
Oh yeah, I just had to play with stuff. You can. You have.
All right.
That's the thing. When you make more detailed map, you have to add details. And
Dying had no map.
Yeah. So now I'm curious to see what that area looked like on the Darlene map. I forgot what that looked like. So now I'm very curious to see here. Let's see here. Yeah, Pontilver is just a straight river delta going straight out. But I wanted variation. Not every river just goes straight out into the ocean. So I created, and that was simply, I got cool fractals from the Bryce.
It's a cool looking area. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of that area near where you're from. Like that Russia can barely get out because of all the,
there are a lot of there are a lot of areas that that have like, meaning you have look at some cities like Rio in South America is another one that has lots of
it's just
mountains
cool.
and stuff. Yep.
Because I would think that would be a huge trade port, but I guess not. So.
Oh yeah, originally it was.
No, it is.
And then it was devastated during the war because it was the big part of this Sea of Medea that got destroyed by the Overking, because he was it didn't want to play ball, so to speak. And then we have Mentry, that was the seat of power, so to speak. That was the kind of the capital, and Pontilver was the commercial capital, from what I understand. And Mentry was the seat of like the pontificate.
I want to talk about another area that probably has 500 little towns that aren't on this map.
Oh yeah,
you know, I mean, it's like, what? There's nothing here. Yeah.
This is the original Great Kingdom before it expanded. There's got to be a lot more cities and towns.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was probably should have like 10 towns supporting it around, both around Pontilver and around Mentry. Should have. Yeah.
Mike, do you know where? Does anyone or anyone else know where Carlos put the 9? Where he placed it?
Oh, a little further north of here.
So
above that. No, it's between Medea and Relastra. Right there. You're almost right on it.
Right here?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay. Well, that's a good place to put it again. The Grandwood.
I would say sorry.
Okay.
Sam. I would say in general, I'd expect there's a town in every hex on the map.
Yeah, at least every hex that has fertile land and political organized well enough to support a population. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sam.
It may only be, 1,000, 1,500, the small town level, but I expect the town in every hex.
Yeah, I mean, in Nyrond and Furyundi alone has like 1 million or more population. They need to live somewhere.
Yeah. Not everybody's in like a homestead in the middle of the field.
Exactly. And most people want to live close to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that I take it that's the way in the real world, and I take it that humans want to do that in Greyhawk too. And probably a lot of other creatures too, like elves and dwarves and dwarves even more so, I think, is in urban. I always wonder how do dwarves get their food? How do they grow it? How do they do agriculture and food production? I always wonder about that part.
Mike, do any of the Ool cities rate in this category?
No.
Not yet. Next episode.
It's probably one that's 5,000, right?
Yeah. What's
Okay,
the episode
yeah.
after that?
Oh, okay. Then we have.
Yeah. Don't go into this town at night episode. How's that? Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Do not stop
Nightlife.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightlife.
Yeah.
All right. How about High Folk?
Is
Sam?
that too small for this or big enough for this episode?
That's what I'm asking. Sam.
Yeah.
It's around 10,000, I think. So it's close. It's close.
Yeah.
Under.
Yeah.
Like
It's a cool.
half that.
I always wondered if Gygax was thinking of places like Lord of the Rings.
That's my guess. It's like it's close to Rivendell or something like
Rivendell,
that.
Yeah.
It has those vibes to it, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does, but it doesn't. Now, so it feels like a hybrid between Bree and Rivendell because it's like a gathering place for all the different races to come and they can all hang out there. That's what I see High Folk as.
Yeah.
Right?
Humans and demi-humans, yeah.
Yeah, that's what so that's part of the valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
High Folk was 2,500. It was promoted to 8,700.
Yeah, but I also see that High Folk has an interesting history, meaning I see it as originally an elven settlement. And then after when the Iridians came in and built the empire and stuff, they kind of conquered it because they wanted to go up to Pearland.
Great Kingdom.
Exactly. So it became part, but I have it that it retained, meaning Veluna and High Folk had a special agreement where the elves and the humans can actually get along. So it was like access to empire, but it wasn't ruled by them. So that's why High Folk and that valley got like a special status.
Well, it's all because of the Knights of the Heart. They're all right. I mean,
which came first? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it that is one of these places that were both part of the Great Kingdom, but not really conquered by them, so to speak. In
Anna, do you think the name is a double entendre? Is it high as in it's elevated, but also because of high elves are
I can sense that it's and probably has a cool elven name too that is not mentioned in the origin sources or Erdi sources that wrote the books, so to speak.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah.
How many large cities in Firiundi?
There's a bunch of them.
Is Freeborough a city? And we know Willop is a
Freeborough is a free city.
Rockport and Bradford.
It's still a free city. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have it, and my story that it's just mentioned that way, and what my story is that it was the Flan city or Flan town back in the day that actually surrendered to the Erdi and they didn't struggle, so to speak. They surrendered, and before they were granted to remain, so to speak. So and then as the Viceroy of Ferron became Kingdom of Furiundi, they got a special status. So they are part of the kingdom, kind of, but they are still free to tax themselves and do things.
Do they pay tribute to Furiundi?
I think they pay tribute in a token tribute, like a gold piece a year or something like that. Yeah, it's like a token. Yeah, but they also have pledged not to wage war or do stuff like that. So they accept the king's authority when it comes to foreign policy and all of that stuff.
What's the population?
I don't know what but I probably have it like 15,000 or something like that. It's because it's a very, very good location, and I have it also that Flan folks come to there for the festivals and the stuff from near and far to have the old Flan traditions and stuff like that.
It's that place in Arizona everyone goes to. What is it?
Yeah, that might be. Yeah,
Freeborough.
Yeah,
3,100.
Oh, yeah. 3,000. That's it.
3,100.
Yeah.
Big. Okay.
Yeah. And we have another city that I think we need to mention because it's part of a lot of adventures, and that's the town of Hokok or Hokok or whatever you say, down in Geoff or Grand March, depending on where you take it. It is where you take it in the story, so to speak. That is the near Orlane and that stuff, so to speak. That was part of various campaigns and stuff.
I'm trying to find it.
And he also got a. Yeah, he got a good map made by
and as a perspective map.
Mike Schleif.
Yeah, exactly. A Schleif map. Yeah, exactly. Mike Schleif. Thank you. Sorry for not remembering. Yeah, it's a beautiful map and stuff. So it got some good later lore and stuff added to it. So yeah.
So because that's I remember on the original Darlene map. It was one of those. I was like, oh, interesting. Why is that there? I remember that as a kid.
Yeah, because it was mentioned in various early sources. So it's one of these places that have gotten additional lore multiple times throughout this publication of the setting.
That you can add a city to Greyhawk and get away with it. Just because, this is the adventure Trouble at Durbanford was during 3rd edition era. There's my Durbanford Grand March.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That you added for me. Because I love that adventure, and we played it for well over a year back pre-streaming days.
Yeah, and on the eastern side in Grand March, there is Hook Hill, the other city that is part of the.
Hook Hill shows, I believe, in N1, doesn't it? It shows how to get from Hook Hill to Orlane.
Exactly. It has an old story as well, but didn't receive as much additional stuff as Hokok did. So Hook Hill was kind of was kind of forgotten, so to speak.
How many?
And then when we get sorry.
I was going to say how many.
I don't know how.
No, our population of Thornwood.
Well, that one is fairly big.
Why is that down, Mike?
It's low. They're both sub 10,000.
Really? Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh.
And we have Shibboleth is another one. I love the name and habit of a city that is on the Sheldamar River.
All right. Thornwood is interesting. It has a total population of 11,000 in the LGG, but that's 5,000 people and 6,000 troops.
Yeah, it's like Berlin after World War II in a way. It was balkanized and beleaguered and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, you like that? You like Durbanford? I love. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys sell it now. Ha ha! I love that book. They had drugs there too. They had that crazy drug. Well, of course, one of Walt's characters got addicted to it. Yeah. All right, so let's see. What do we got? What else do we have here? What we got there? We got time. Plenty of time. Is there anything in 10? Nevron, Nevnend. Was that was
that was a metropolis.
It was a metropolis, yes. Which I can't believe that.
We talked about it previously. Well, there could be some up north.
How about the capitals of all the barbarian kingdoms?
Well, they're not big enough to be mentioned here. I think they're
cities?
In the there some of them are probably cities, but they're like in the maybe 5,000 tops.
Okay. Krakenheim, 4,500.
Okay.
Seoul, 5,600.
Yeah.
And Glot, 5,100.
Okay. Yeah.
Town.
Yep. North Province. What do we got?
Yeah, there we have some big ones.
I'll throw in a mention for Winetha, which is on the coast.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a city ruled by wizards.
Yeah, I love that place.
Very unique.
Yeah.
What about
Curtis's character went to Mage College there.
Kershani. Yeah, Kershaw.
Yeah. And then south of
very well.
Yeah, south of Winetha you have Roland. Yeah. I don't really
Roland
like the name. Yeah.
Roland is small.
You're not going to mention Rinloru?
Oh yeah, Rinloru, the one that was overrun by Nerulean priests that went haywire and
Yes, that's
Used to
now a
be.
city of undead.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. It's fun that something like that happens once in a while. Yeah.
I feel like it maybe happened a little too often. And
Has it happened that
Zombies are
often?
people too.
I mean, we have what is it? The one we were just talking about down at the mouth of the Flanme. That one is full of undead.
Oh, okay. Oh, Pontiver, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, Pontover and
Yeah,
Windloru. And there's a couple, Mentre got ruined.
that's true.
Maybe just a
Yeah.
little bit too much.
Yeah, that might be, yeah. They had too much to drink at a couple of Gen Cons in a row, so they had to
No,
get
this
a
is
screw up.
all Sergeant. This is all Sergeant.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, this dates.
Maybe he drank too many beers too at
This
some
is
point. Yeah.
this is somewhere between God, yeah, what is it? Between Tab and the LGG. Sergeant, the ruler of Rinloru, I think that's Delgath the Undying. He's been turned into an animus, and he had to turn to Nerol because I think his Erythnol was like, "Oh, you're dead. Screw you. I don't like you anymore." He hadn't turned everybody into undead, but people really wanted to get out of there because they feared getting turned into undead. And sometime, I'm not sure it was in Tab. I think it might have been in the LGG. So you're going to probably have to blame Eric or maybe Fred for this, or Gary.
No, the LGG. Remember, the LGG didn't advance the timeline.
Right. So, well, somebody decided that Delgath killed everybody in Rinloru and made them undead.
Wasn't that Carl Sargent?
That was Sergeant.
I'm pretty sure Sergeant Inivid had Delgath alive and people wanting to flee.
Huh.
No, he was turning people into undead, apparently, according to Inivid the Undying.
Oh, he was turning them, but they weren't all undead, not yet.
No. Neither should there. Maybe that just is ridiculous.
But if you talk to the survivors, everybody was who fled the city. Then all of them were. So we might have read the survivors count, so to speak, the people that fled.
You have a new AMC series, The Walking Dead,
Yep.
Rinloru.
Yep. Rinloru edition. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they did a number in a lot of places.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Greyhawk has enough places that you can make a number of, and then you can invent some more ones for your campaign. And then you have to invent enough of them so you can, just like NPCs, that needs to be casualties for a fun game, so to speak. That probably goes for settlements too.
What's the biggest? Is Laura Tarma the biggest one on?
Yeah, but it's actually not on the mainland. It's on that little island, according to Len. So yeah.
Yeah, but what's the population? That's what I'm asking.
Probably maybe 5,000-6,000 or something. And then you had Pelreltama on the main island.
There's a lot of cool ones that definitely would make another show, but
it was higher before the elves got fancy.
Yeah. I always thought about the Western one, Asmodeus. Or hang on a second, the Asmogorgon. Is that as bad as it sounds?
Osmogorgon.
Yeah, it's a badass name. So I wonder if the place is actually that badass.
It's a portmanteau.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta remember back when L3 was written and all that. Len was getting into the devils a lot,
Oh yeah,
Basil Ball is in
exactly.
L3 and stuff.
Played with a lot of it. Yeah.
So it looks like, if I'm scanning down here, there's a handful of cities in the Vaclunish lands that fit this category.
Let's go look. Cool.
They have a lot of really big ones, and then Fashtri, I think, up north might be.
Starting with Sefmer in Tusmet. Has anybody ever done anything with Sefmer?
I don't think anyone's ever done anything with Tusmet. I mean, I'm dead serious. I don't know anyone who's ever played or mentioned the name Tusmet ever on a show. Until now.
No, we are not much for the Becluni here.
Did they have a living Greyhawk triad?
Oh, no. Yes, they did.
They did?
That's where a lot of these names came from. Yeah.
Wazim, Quelleras, Golden Scimitars, I think, are from.
They're Tusmet, man. You're right. Yeah, they're Tusmet.
I've done a little bit with Tusmet.
It was Quebec or some French-speaking part up there. So
what'd you do with Tusmet, Sam?
Well, as part of my Backloonish stuff, I wrote up
Oh my God, there's Rick.
I wrote up the faith of Dawood for Tusmet.
Okay.
It was one of the Backloonish things I expanded, so I wrote that up. It's in my little Backloonish gas.
Cool.
And I've
Hello.
Quebec. It was Quebec.
I've got some stuff for pending. Actually, I'm going to blame it on Artharn Paul. He's been helping me fill out some of the stuff I couldn't come up with ideas for the Wars revision. So there'll be a little more on Tusmet in that.
Can you imagine LGG and you're all excited and they go, "You guys got Tusmet." And you're like, "What?"
Well, sometimes you have to make lemonade out of whatever you get. So yeah.
Well, it could have been worse. They could have said Nyron.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
A zinger to
love my
Rob and
Nyron friends.
Valmoku. Oh my
Oh,
God.
I love my Nyron friends.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh my God.
Let's see. There's a city called Keshra or Seshra in
Yeah,
Zeek.
Kesha,
It's
yeah.
16,000.
And Vilayad next to it as well along the Tuflik. Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty big cities, pretty close to each other.
They had high population numbers in the LG campaign.
That was another thing I discovered about Tusmet. This is a little random trivia. The ruler, Jadim Orem. And Fred decided that Orem was some Backloonish word that meant set apart.
Oh.
It turns out that, between the true faith and the exalted faith. It turns out, however, that Orem is actually biblical Aramaic.
Ah.
Oh.
And it means cunning.
Interesting.
Awesome.
So that sounds intentional.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And what is the Pasha of Tusmet known for? Playing his neighbors off against each other so they don't invade him.
Right, because he's the weakest. Yep.
Nice.
His name is Jadim the Cunning, and I'm pretty sure that was deliberate on Gary's part.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Everything has a reason.
That's the theory, Mike. I think everything has a reason once you can prove that it doesn't. But like Tusmet, is that an anagram? I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard any theories of what that name comes from. I mean, in a lot of countries we do know where they come from, but I don't think we know that for Tusmet. I like the name though; it's really cool. Yeah,
it is cool. Yeah, there's a city called Dabia in Zeek.
Yeah,
14,900. I'm not sure where it is. Probably created.
Dabia is up fairly north, if I remember correctly.
Here it is. Well, that's way up there.
Yep. Oh, and that, it's in the
next to near the Sansarail, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's the western anchor city in Seif.
So this is a good example of creating a city where there pretty much should have been a city.
Should be a city, yeah.
Isn't
because they have
the river of the Garland map.
That's a great harbor.
Yeah, exactly, and it has a river up there that is kind of seasonal. It's one of these rivers that when there's rainy season, occasionally it grows big and then it almost dries out. That's my impression of.
Anna,
of
did
that
this
area.
come from Fred's Living Greyhawk Journal 5 article map?
That might be, but also the LG Seif, they had a really good map and a really good source book. They're one of the best ones in the whole LG campaign.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
So that's where I took a lot of the details from. So there.
And you can still play Zeef games during, Reverse GreyhawkCon at least one. And Tickers always does at least one game in Zeef every year.
Here's a surprising settlement. In the Paynims, there's a place called Kanak, 13,000.
Yes, yeah, and that was the original Backloony capital before the invoked devastation. Yeah, it's by Lake. Yeah, Kanak is down by the up there. Zoom in. The lake. Zoom in.
It's by the lake on the river.
Yeah.
Kanak. Near Tovak Baraku. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's near to yeah. So that was the Becluni. It used to be a huge city, probably maybe 100,000 or so back in the Becluni Empire's heyday.
After the Invoke Devastation, they came back and resettled and created a city here.
Probably because Tuvac Baragu was there, and also because it is a strategic location. It's one of the few places. It's like at the bottom of a basin, so water assemble there and stuff. So it's one of the places you can survive, so to speak.
Like an oasis.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Here's the curious thing: it never really indicates whether the river goes in or out.
I have it that the river go west out into the Gulf of Gayar eventually.
I would agree because I think that it is a freshwater lake and it is a very much a source of one of the few sources of agriculture.
Yeah, I have it that originally the lake was way bigger because then it was wetter climate and stuff, way bigger, and then after the Volk devastation, most of it disappears, and now it's that salty, crusty, muddy, whatever at the bottom.
So at some radius from the lake, you start to find some ruins, perhaps some adventuring opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet that there are some ruins still left in there. Tuvac Baragu, one of them. Yeah.
Well, it was interesting that they said the Invoke Devastation mostly killed the people, but not the buildings.
So then there might be lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd expect there are ruins throughout the dry steppes and through the whole region, just going down to the Sulhout Mountains.
Yeah, but some of them are maybe in plain sight because it was so long ago. It's like, it's like Göbekli Tepe. If you didn't get lucky where you were digging, you didn't even know it was
1,000 years of burial.
It just looks like geology when
unless you have LiDAR or whatever, just looking into the ground, you don't even know that there was ancient peoples there. They just found another huge one in the Amazon. They said it's so big. And it's completely overgrown. You can't see it from the air. But they said I forget the name of it, but it was like, oh my God, it's bigger than any of the other ones in Peru. So
I'm not sure if this is a misspelling, but there's a city called Polvar on Sam's list in Ket.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought it might be Polvar. Is there
Pelvar or something because it has the accent grave from
here it is.
Friends over. Yeah.
So there's two cities, Molvar and Polvar.
Yep.
And
Falvur. The LG for Ket had one city for each province, so to speak. So each province or each district in Ket had a city. So that's why I added them. So and then there are sub districts. Or no, the Nehes was not big enough to have one, but Molvar and Falvur and Polvar had cities, and then the Bramblewood didn't. Northern and Bramblewood they had Nesser and Rafa, I think, or they in Avernan. There's a couple on the Rafa Road, and then Lopolla. So yeah, and then there's the Tusman Hills area that is semi-independent that doesn't have a city. It's just some villages and small towns.
This is like my favorite story in the Living Greyhawk era. Like they just fought back and forth between Ket and Bissell for those, and nothing happened. Right, back and forth. They actually did them.
Well, that happened in the real world in some places.
I know. Through the Bramblewood.
Danish and the Swedes fought for 2,000 years. They fought more wars than anybody else against each other for I don't know how long. Yeah. And now they're best of friends. Yeah.
Well, they still fight soccer.
They claim to be best.
Yeah, barely, but I think Denmark is usually. Sometimes Sweden is better than Denmark in
Denmark
soccer,
didn't even make the.
No, but Sweden we make it now and then, and Denmark makes it now and then. Yeah.
True.
None of us are great soccer nations. We get the occasional
England,
good player.
Sorry, Rob. England was 5 minutes left in the game, and they were up 1-0 and lost 2-1. Today,
but they lost against Argentina, so and it's one of the best teams in the world. So yeah.
All right. So all right. Lastly, Wild Coast.
Yeah.
I think they're not. I think they're all small, but
a Safeton big enough to be a city, I think, and Highport.
Yeah.
Highport, I think, is the only one big enough to be considered a medium city. And I'm not even sure if that population includes all the humanoids that are there right now.
That's true.
It probably doesn't.
It depends on if you.
I would think the 15,000 includes all the humanoids.
Okay, well, if it's
Yeah,
15,
makes
yeah,
sense.
probably. So, Highport 15. What about Stoneheim?
Half that.
5,700.
Wow. Okay. That's not big at all.
Blue? Does Blue rate at all?
Probably
Yes.
2,000.
Oh yeah, Blue I think is big due
Is
to. Oh
Six-
yeah, fairly big, but that is due to Scarlet Brotherhood occupation
God, it
and
burns.
stuff.
Blue is 6,300.
How
It's
much?
like scant and
6,300.
yeah.
No, it's not bad.
I can live with that. All right, so Elrid, Badwall, Fax,
Yeah, those are all.
They're smaller.
Safeton, Narwhal,
Small
If they're
all are,
whatever's
all
left
are a
of
few
them. Yeah.
thousand. Yeah, okay.
The only ones I'm seeing on the list are a couple of the Pale that aren't very interesting.
Right. That we
And a
missed.
couple in Niron. B2 is interesting because a lot of people think that it was named after the module B2. I have no idea if that's true.
But that's
What location? Oh, B2.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
That is
But it's
good.
also a good location in that sense that it's a location that I think should have a city, because it's kind of a crossover between the Nesser and the Duntide River. So you can kind of,
Right.
if there's a canal that should be somewhere, that's one of the canals that you can, instead of having to go all the way down to Nessermouth, you can just cross between the two rivers, because that will make Niron crisscrossed by rivers.
Yeah, I mean it's not the country's fault. I just like they're not close to dungeons or very dangerous areas. So
no, it's one of these places where you want to live, not where you go
Yeah.
adventure. That's where you want to live.
You want to live in Relmord.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
exactly. You
safe
want to
city.
live in Relmord or B2 or somewhere where it's nice. Monsters or dungeons are as far away as possible.
You can get a mortgage in Relmord.
Yeah,
Low interest
you
rate.
get a partner and a mortgage and some kids and some land and you can live a good life. Yep. No adventuring, no sword needed.
No orcs to teach your
Yep.
children.
So
Exactly.
boring.
Yep. Yeah,
That's all
I
right.
know, but that's where most people want to live. I bet where it is boring.
Right for adventure.
Mhm.
Well, that's cool. I mean, we went through a lot there,
Yeah.
all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah. And there's a lot of ancient cities. Rick is correct there too, that just don't even rate anymore because there's no population, but they're all over the place.
Mhm.
A lot of Elvish cities that were destroyed.
But it's a fantasy world. You have to have ancient cities that are abandoned for one reason or the other. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there are a lot of cool cities at that next notch below. So Mike and I were purposely avoiding them. So.
Yeah, so
like
was
the
I.
plague.
So was I. I was trying to avoid them as much as possible. So, what do we? What are our thoughts on this, Mike? Any thoughts on this discussion?
Yeah. I think there is probably plenty we still missed, but maybe we'll pick up some of the slack on the next one.
Yes, pick up on a little of the smaller ones and some of the more there's probably a lot more that are customized. I bet you I'm not the only one, along with Malden and a couple other people to make a lot of cities or smaller, large towns or whatever you want.
Right, they just haven't shared yet with the community.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, two things that came up to me just this evening was one, I should do another round of, hey, bring out your maps. If anybody has new maps for these places, I could spend some time putting them in.
I will have a new crit wall map fairly soon. Yeah.
And then the second thing, when it came from what Anna was saying, is wouldn't it be cool to attach the city stat block for each of these cities?
Yeah.
Like try to fill in the information as much as we can for what these cities are like, so that DMs could use that.
Yeah.
That is exactly what was done by me in this. This is the Tarvine Belt. This is Arid has all these locations, right? Has all these areas and the Tarvine Belt. And so where is it? There's all sorts of towns in here, including the Free City of Altamira in here. And it's only a page, but it has all that information that you could stuff in on a page. On the other side is Freeburg, which is another one in the Tarvine of someone else. But yeah, and so this is the codex that there were 6 of these that were just recently done, and That was one of the winnings from Sunday Night's Gabbin that Enoch Pratt got, all 6 of them in hardback and PDF. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea. In fact, there's probably some other, there's probably other people got a lot. There's a lot of projects going on outside of what the official projects are right now. Right? There's a lot of stuff going on DM's Guild, which is good. But like for our community, I see it as a good project idea. New maps for Antaria and updated world maps into progress using Aztec. There you go, Rick. Good. Awesome. Davey Keith, what's going on? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. So, Sam, any final thoughts?
No, like I say, there's a lot of cities, a lot of towns, a lot of villages. We were still in the middle ones, and about the only thing I note a lot about these is the number of small cities or large towns that are capitals. Oh, and one other thought. You mentioned the Pale, but we didn't get into it. If you look at all the city populations of the Pale and the LGG, it is heavily urbanized. I think it's over 20% are in the listed cities, which is like really that's incredible. They must have some really good source of food somewhere.
Well, who knows?
Troll meat. The troll meat regenerates itself.
It's an order.
Yes.
It's an orderly society.
You chain a troll in the backyard and you have food forever. Yep. Is that what you say? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty gross, Anna. I just got it. Yeah, cabbage. That's it. That kale and cabbage.
Yep.
Yeah. Good point. So,
That's
Gary,
why
any
you're
final thoughts
vegetarian.
there?
Yeah.
Just that obviously there's so many cities. You don't have to create a new city in order to take something that has almost no information and expand on it yourself. Because a lot of these places, half of them, I promise you, doesn't have more than a couple sentences.
Yeah.
So, but if you do want to create a new city, use that discussion we had earlier to kind of frame your, placement so that you can, maybe add something that you could then share with everybody, and I'm sure people would love to read it.
That's exactly correct. Always continue, everyone, that's what the community is about, sharing the stuff. Okay. And any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it's cities is one of these mainstays in world building and should be in your campaign. And it's also perfect for rest and recovery, downtime, get your healing in and buy stuff and all that stuff. So cities, I think it's just like the dungeon, meaning originally it was the city and the dungeon that was the two mainstay. You went to the city to rest, recover, and spend your money, and then you went down to the dungeon to get more money.
That is true.
But I think cities can be way more than that, so to speak.
So, fun discussion. I appreciate everyone here. It's another kicking off of a week. So we got I got a double header, and once again, thank you all. I'll say it again for those who weren't on Sunday night, or thank you then for all the support. 90,000 unique viewers to the 24 hours.
Yeah,
103,000 plus views. Viewer average over the course of the event, the whole thing was 577 was the actual hourly viewer average. It was the full viewer average across the whole thing. So it was awesome. It was a great time. And a lot of fun things came out of it. So, so much for Fortress Elendar. Another one done. But tomorrow night, Rob takes the lead here. Phantom NJ with his barbarian Gom the Confident, right? So we got a witch, we got a Gom, we got a dwarf fighter, and we got Quentin going out, and that'll be tomorrow night. Here's some pictures. Here's some terrain, lots of
My
big
God, was that
things.
an owlbear
Oh
carpet?
yeah, that was an owlbear. That was an owlbear. Yeah, rug. Yeah, I got
That
two of
is
them now.
amazing.
I got a brown one and a white one now, a winter one. Yeah, yeah. So that's the white. I got that one from Mike Saxton at CMYCom. Yeah,
That's amazing.
he threw that in with my Seeker's Tower. Yeah, that I bought. So he threw that in comped. Yeah, and there's a brown one as well. I got. That's my standard one. But yeah, so we do a little blow up here. There's some at the top. There you go. So what big guy with he's got a big arm. But so tomorrow night is Hunting and Outcast Part 1. All right. Tomorrow night 7. And then we'll finish that up Saturday morning at 11. No more 10. We don't have to go 10 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
No 15 hours.
No. 4. 4 hours for this, 4 hours for that. Boom, done. Zip in, zip out. Like going into Wisconsin. So
Cool.
yeah, that'll be a two-parter. And then next Saturday, I'm going to start a new group. Starting a new group with some at least one brand new player, maybe 2. So I'll have a new group, and I start them 3rd or 4th level. We're gonna have a wild mage in the group. We're gonna have a halfling fighter. We're gonna have another priest. We're gonna have a priestess of Ilmater. We're gonna have some fun characters in that one, and there'll be Al Altamira too. So it'll be a new adventuring group. Because for some of the new players, at least, I want them to start off fresh. I don't want to start them off 7th, 8th, 9th level where everyone else is. So it's just like, when I never said I'd start any new first up, I lied to myself, start up new low level groups because of all the new people coming in. And I just, how it is, Mike, right? It gets hard to run 11th level adventures over and over and over.
Yeah.
It does,
Yep.
no matter what edition you're playing. So, and that keeps the world going, keeps it all flowing and stuff. All right. If you don't have this, you will if you win tonight, right? Expedition Ruins of Greyhawk reprint.
I just want to
Thanks,
make a
Patrick.
couple of announcements.
Of course.
Yeah, first on Friday there will be a stream, and also speaking of, you spoke about terrain. I have the latest blog post is now free for everybody, and that's the first full resolution, full finished area of the map. So it's the terrain maps that are. It's not a full map, it's just the terrain. I have not labeled yet, so to speak. And it's part of the Eastern Furuundi, so it's 15 by 15 miles. And there is top-down version and isometric from all 4 directions, so to speak. So you can take thank you, Captain Bone. Yep. So this is example of what's coming, so to speak. I have many more areas in development, so it's coming, so to speak. So I'm sitting here doodling and doing stuff for like 5-6 hours every day at least on that project, and then I'm working on some other projects too in between. So yeah, but it's coming. So it's
we're all
I'm really pleased with how this turns out. It's starting to look really, really good. This is what I always wanted my Greyhawk maps to look like. Now we can have Greyhawk. I can show off Greyhawk the way I want it to. Yeah.
So I was going to rate the Troller Games, and now they're not on. So I'm going to probably do Old Times Tavern tonight.
Yes.
One thing.
Please.
Since you like that city reference so much, here's the spreadsheet for everyone watching if they want to grab a copy.
Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
I managed to sneak in all the other edits people have pointed out, all my mistakes, correcting inspa, adding exag. I don't know. I'll have to do another update and add in Sassarin and Cauldron, maybe a couple of others, but
no, it's good though. I mean,
yes, Sudrag. They will be on all my places, so to speak, and they will be made into a series of maps. There will be labeled maps. There will be unlabeled maps. There will be, and I'm still toying with the actual format. I'm thinking about 24 by 36 inch because that's a standard printed format, so you can go to your local printer or print them online and have them shipped home and stuff. So that's what there will be. That might not be on the Zoom hub. I will probably have to do some other solution because there's so many of them that I have to make so many account. But my ultimate goal is to have them both on a geo server and all available for download on a geo server and also in Unreal. That is my goal is to make a world viewer, so to speak, in Unreal. Yes.
That's crazy.
And have a geo server so you can run, so to speak. So have like Google Earth. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let me check one more time. I don't think anyone. Okay. All right. I was just checking to see. All right. So we're Old Times is on. That's good. I think it's Sparky's channel. All right. So final thoughts. Appreciate it. That was awesome. Good times. Keep it rolling. Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Sam, and Mike and Anna and all the guests that came on and all the people that are watching
today.
Thank
you, Gary and Sam. It was great having you as always.
We're gonna have a good 2-session adventure, because that prep work for 24-hour streams are crazy, man. The prep work alone, the terrain, because I do it. I'm not doing it theater of the mind, so I gotta train everything up and miniatures and all. It's a long process. So Google Earth, that would be incredible. Maybe one day, Bone, you never know. All right, I'm gonna hit this wrong button here, and then oh no, we gotta do the giveaway. Here we go. Oh my God, I almost forgot. Here we go. Closing it out. Last call. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hit the close button and nothing happened. I hate this thing sometimes. Here we go. Winner is Scala Grimer. Congrats, dude.
Cool.
I think I have your address. Yeah, and you're in chat. You're in the chat log, so you're good. Awesome. Scala, congrats. I will send this out to you. It's a great adventure. I love it. I loved it. I love what they did with it. Fit in for what I was doing at the time. All right, we'll see you all tomorrow night, then Saturday morning, and then Sunday night. Wrong button coming? Probably. Awesome. Hitting, let's see, in the raid into Old Times Tavern. I believe that, like I said, I think it's a Sparky's game, so we'll run into them because none of the other stream teams really on. Struck raid. Thank you all. Awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, see you all tomorrow night.